It will never beat the human touch. That bold declaration echoes across countless social media feeds as die-hard anime fans voice their skepticism about artificial intelligence creeping into their beloved industry. But guess what? Sony just proved that sentiment wrong by announcing a plan that might totally redefine how modern anime is produced. Today we dive deep into the chaotic, exciting, and sometimes nerve-wracking world of AI-driven anime creation. What's the real story behind Sony's newest move, and how will it change the way we think about some of our favorite series? In this episode, we're pulling back the curtain on the controversial use of AI to color anime scenes, the wave of support and backlash from animators, voice actors, and industry insiders, and the big question on everyone's mind: is this the start of a revolution or the path to creative destruction? Stay tuned to find out how it all began, why Crunchyroll has an entirely different perspective, and what it means for the future of anime fans and creators alike. We'll also explore how Sony hopes to improve working conditions through new technology, uncover the hidden fears some industry pros harbor about losing the soul of anime to a machine, and discover whether AI has any chance of matching the nuanced artistry that fans have cherished for decades. But first, let's start by tackling the biggest mysteries of this story. Why is Sony so confident that machine learning algorithms can enhance creativity, and why does Crunchyroll believe that might be a slippery slope? In this extended deep dive, we'll examine the friction between tradition and innovation that underpins practically every anime conversation these days. We will also dig into the statements made by various industry figures, like Shunsuke Muramatsu at Sony Music Entertainment Japan and Rahul Purini from Crunchyroll, to see how they reflect a bigger clash that speaks volumes about the future of animation worldwide. Finally, we'll look closely at real success stories and disasters, including a recent production that claimed to be 95% driven by AI. Ready to find out what happened there? So, let's travel to the cutting edge of anime production, where brilliant artists sit side by side with lines of code, and entire color palettes can be rendered with a single click. Our story takes off in the heart of the anime universe, Japan, where Sony Music Entertainment Japan has been a major force in distributing iconic hits like Spy X Family and Solo Leveling. Despite the playful, often magical world that these shows produce on screen, there's a different kind of drama unfolding behind the scenes. It's full of sleepless nights, fatigue, and fear of missing deadlines. Now, Sony is stepping in with a new approach, using AI to streamline a crucial part of the creative process: coloring. That's right, the bright hues of your favorite protagonists' outfits and the subtle tones of scenic backdrops could soon be generated with the help of an algorithm. For many, the notion that machines might take control of anime's coloring stage feels like a betrayal. Isn't the unique, labor-intensive artistry the very hallmark of anime's global appeal? Well, CEO Shunsuke Muramatsu has a different take. In his view, coloring is often an exhausting and repetitive part of production, and automating it could free up animators to focus more on those vital, expressive details that shape every moment on screen. He also believes it has the potential to tackle a glaring issue: harsh work conditions that plague the anime industry. Over the years, we've heard story after story of overworked animators, tight budgets, and moral questions about fair compensation. Could AI swoop in as a hero to reduce endless hours of drudgery? Or is it a subtle villain waiting to rob future animators of precious skills? Meanwhile, Crunchyroll's CEO, Rahul Purini, is far from convinced. "We are not considering AI in the creative process, including our voice actors," he said, drawing a line in the sand that signals his strong opposition. His perspective resonates with those worried that AI might start taking human jobs or weakening anime's signature style. Yet, there's an interesting twist here. Crunchyroll is owned by Sony Music Entertainment Japan's Aniplex. So, how do these conflicting standpoints coexist under one massive umbrella? Is it possible that Crunchyroll's public stance won't matter if Sony decides to steer the future of anime technology in a bold, new direction? To understand the magnitude of this standoff, we need to explore the broader conversation about AI in creative industries. Across the globe, more and more production studios are flirting with AI. Some see it as a cost saver, others view it as a potential brand enhancer. There's a swirl of fear around the idea that advanced algorithms could replace animators who have spent countless hours mastering their craft. Despite these uncertainties, Sony is forging ahead. The company is determined to show how the advanced technology might alleviate some of the biggest pitfalls in production, from tight scheduling nightmares to physical and mental exhaustion among staff. Just imagine an overworked color designer in a leading animation studio. She might have thousands of frames to color in a single episode. Each frame calls for precise palette choices and an unrelenting eye for continuity. If she misses a single gradient or forgets to maintain a consistent shade, fans on social media can be ruthless in pointing out the error. So, when Sony says, "Let the AI handle all that monotonous work," you can see the short-term appeal. You can also see the immediate red flag for those who worry about artistry. Is an AI truly able to capture the intangible nuances of a sunrise in the final battle scene, or the specific kind of glow that a beloved character's face demands? There's also a matter of pride. Anime in Japan is more than just entertainment. It is a cultural treasure that has inspired generations. Artists train for years to develop their own unique style, aiming to capture endearing expressions for each character, highlight dynamic action sequences, and evoke powerful emotions from viewers. In short, they pour their hearts into every frame. If a studio starts to rely too heavily on automation, do we risk losing that sense of passion that has propelled series like Spy X Family to the top of global charts? Adding more fuel to the debate, a big name from Demon Slayer's voice acting cast recently made a striking comment. "Go ahead and try it." This star, well known for breathing life into a dynamic demon-trouncing hero, challenged the idea that AI could ever replace the depth and warmth delivered by a human voice. This sentiment captures a broader point. For many, the essence of anime is about emotional communication, something a rigid algorithm could never replicate. This argument might resonate strongly with the thousands of fans who sign petitions against any sign of machine incursion into creative spaces. But let's not forget the flip side. Some early adopters claim that AI can provide a new range of creative opportunities if used responsibly. Before we push forward, here's a quick invitation. If you're as captivated by the unfolding drama of AI in anime as I am, consider giving this content a thumbs up or a like. It's a simple gesture, but it helps spread the word and encourages more in-depth explorations in the future. If you enjoy these deep dives, there will be more to come, so stay tuned. Returning to our saga, let's talk about some real-world attempts at machine-driven animation. A prime example is Twins Hinahima from Kaka Technology Studio, the short-run project that was reportedly 95% created by AI. On paper, that statistic alone should guarantee some measure of hype. After all, we live in an era where futuristic gimmicks attract endless online discussions. Yet the result was underwhelming. Critics described the animation as stiff and awkward. Characters lacked the spark that emerges from the guiding hands of flesh-and-blood artists. Although this attempt tried to be a groundbreaking demonstration of AI's prowess, it ended up feeling like a cautionary tale. For Sony, that cautionary tale underscores something important. They are not aiming to create an anime that is nearly 100% AI. Instead, they're incrementally introducing AI for tasks like coloring, hoping to keep the essence of anime alive while removing some of the most physically demanding labor. By carefully balancing human oversight with the efficiency of AI tools, Sony positions itself as a pioneer that sees synergy rather than conflict. But bright visions of synergy can get cloudy once you factor in unionized workers and the complexities of the anime supply chain. Will smaller studios, short on budget and staff, look to replicate Sony's strategy, or will they try to leap even further by automating multiple stages of production to cut costs? In many ways, the entire anime industry is at a crossroads. Adopt more and more of these technological solutions to stay competitive, or retain time-honored traditions that fans revere. This dilemma grows even more poignant when we discuss workplace conditions. For years, certain major studios have been singled out for tough practices, churning out back-to-back hits while staff members endure high stress. The conversation about AI might actually open the door to talking about new working arrangements, better pay, or at least some recognition that employees shouldn't feel exploited. If AI frees up staff from physically taxing tasks, perhaps there's room to negotiate better hours and wages. Then again, companies might be tempted to use AI purely as a cost-cutting measure, further squeezing out employees and diminishing the overall creative environment. In that sense, the debate resembles two sides battling over the same frontier. On one side, there's the argument that mechanizing part of the process can raise quality and reduce labor exploitation. On the other, there's the fear that over-reliance on AI could flatten the artistic depth that has always distinguished anime from other forms of animation. Indeed, anime has captured global audiences partly because of meticulous craftsmanship and heartfelt storytelling that often transcends cultural barriers. And let's not forget the matter of fan engagement. Some hardcore enthusiasts feel the slightest shift away from traditional processes is a direct attack on the purity of anime. They fear losing the marks of painstaking, frame-by-frame artistry that they believe sets anime apart from mass-produced media. These fans often mobilize quickly online, condemning any move that might cheapen or standardize a treasured art form. Still, there's another segment of the fan base that wholeheartedly embraces technology, arguing that if AI can open up new creative avenues, like real-time color experimentation or generating imaginative backgrounds, why not explore it? Part of the tension arises from what we might call AI illusions of artistry. Machines are, in effect, trained on massive data sets. They identify patterns and produce output that matches user specifications. Enough computing power and high-quality training data might replicate or even surpass the detail of a single skilled human. But can these advanced systems capture the intangible trademark of a distinctive anime style that has been developed across decades? And if they do, is that a triumph or a betrayal of the human spirit that originally fueled these works? For the moment, we know exactly where Sony stands. They see the future, and the future is all about synergy. They want to employ AI specifically during the coloring stage. It sounds modest, but the ramifications could be monumental. It's like pulling on one loose thread in a tapestry. You might worry that the entire piece could unravel. If coloring proves to be a success, what's next? Will storyboard layout, background art, or even voice direction begin to rely more heavily on AI? Despite reassurances, there's always a feeling that once companies taste the efficiency and cost benefits, they'll keep pushing boundaries. Meanwhile, Crunchyroll insists they won't budge. We are not considering AI in the creative process, including our voice actors, says CEO Rahul Purini. It's a resolute statement, but it's also a challenge to the broader corporate strategy, especially when your parent company sees things differently. Perhaps Crunchyroll is playing the role of the cautious sibling, wanting to preserve the essence that has made anime a global phenomenon. After all, Crunchyroll has its own dedicated fan community, heavily reliant on the perception of authenticity. If that authenticity is compromised by automation, the brand itself could be in jeopardy. We also need to acknowledge the crucial role of voice actors, the unsung heroes who add depth to every drawn character. The voice actor for Demon Slayer, who threw down the "go ahead and try it" challenge, is not alone in feeling that technology lacks the nuanced emotion of a human performance. And it is not just about emotional subtleties either. Fans often develop a profound loyalty to voice actors, following their careers from one anime to another. If AI began replicating or replacing such talents, the entire subculture that has grown around voice acting would be threatened. Granted, Sony is not currently pushing for AI-generated voice-overs, but fear is a powerful force, and the industry is bracing itself for every possibility. Now, let's circle back to that major question. How do fans really feel about AI anime? Opinions are all over the map, but there's a pronounced sense of apprehension. People remember fiascos like Twins' Hinahima, which ended up feeling more like a stilted imitation than a revolution. They also keep a close eye on major studios, such as MAPPA, known for jaw-dropping visuals, but also for rumored harsh working environments. The mere hint that these studios might replace or reduce certain human positions with AI can spark outrage. There's also the possibility that AI-driven productions could saturate the market with countless formulaic, cheaply produced shows, overshadowing carefully crafted series that deserve the spotlight. In the middle of this swirl comes Sony proclaiming, "We want to do it right." Their timing is interesting. With the popularity of series like Spy X Family and Solo Leveling soaring, plus the giant stable of franchises under their belt, they're in a strong position to test the waters. They can afford to absorb any short-term blowback if the broader goal is to set a new industry standard. But the million-dollar question is whether fans will accept it. If negative feedback pours in, causing what we might call a consumer revolt, Sony might be forced to reconsider. On the other hand, if the final product is seamless and visually compelling, the average viewer might not even notice or care that an advanced algorithm did the coloring. Curious about what is going to happen next? We are only scratching the surface. We have not even gone into the potential for AI to interlink with advanced storytelling or possibly predict what fans want to see. Imagine a scenario where a powerful algorithm scans social media for trending preferences, generating style guides that animators use to keep each series relevant. That might sound thrilling or horrifying, depending on your perspective. The line between pleasing the audience and losing creative integrity can be thin. Let's take a moment for a friendly reminder. If you appreciate unraveling topics like these, consider a quick follow or subscribe to stay updated on further explorations. That way, you won't miss out on any future behind-the-scenes reveals or deep dives into the controversies shaping anime's destiny. We cannot wrap up without mentioning the final piece of the puzzle, the global landscape. Anime is no longer just a local product. It is admired, streamed, and discussed in countless countries, and big Western companies are investing heavily in distribution. With so much money and corporate interests swirling around, it's no wonder that new technologies like AI are stepping into the limelight. In many ways, this is a microcosm of changes unfolding in every corner of the entertainment industry, from blockbuster movies to video games, from social media content to pop music. The creative sphere is no stranger to the tension between tradition and innovation, but anime has always had a special spark that is hard to replicate, a spark that makes people line up for midnight screenings, invest in elaborate cosplay, and learn entire theme songs by heart. It's a spark forged by the passion and dedication of countless creators who refuse to compromise on quality. Ultimately, the fate of AI-assisted anime might hinge on how well it can replicate or even enhance that spark. If it falls short, fans will likely let studios know. On the flip side, if used wisely, these new tools might usher in a golden age where animators have more time to hone dynamic fight scenes and comedic timing, while machines handle the grunt work. That is something we can certainly get behind, provided the technology respects the tradition and the people who built anime into what it is today. What should we watch for in the coming months? Watch for more presentations from Sony about the progress of their AI coloring technology, statements from studios that might adopt it, and behind-the-scenes glimpses from animators who either applaud its convenience or lament a lost art. Keep an eye on Crunchyroll to see if they stand firm or begin to adapt their position, especially if the tide of public opinion shifts. Above all, pay attention to what fans are saying. Their voices have shaped the industry time and time again. If there's fierce resistance, studios might pivot, but if there's broad acceptance, or at least curiosity, this might mark a big turning point in anime history. So is AI the shining savior or the ruinous villain of the anime world? The truth, as it often does, lies somewhere in between. The technology itself is neutral. It's how studios wield it that matters. For Sony, the next move is clear. Keep tinkering with that AI-based coloring, refine it until it's acceptable to fans, and use it as a stepping stone for more experimentation. For critics, the focus is on vigilance, ensuring that in the quest for efficiency, we do not lose what makes anime so special. We are in uncharted territory, and everyone from voice actors to color designers to the fans themselves has a stake in how it all unfolds. Will the machine-human partnership open new doors, or are we witnessing the end of an era? Until we have that answer, we can only observe the sparks flying between Sony, Crunchyroll, pioneering studios, and the global community of viewers who love anime enough to fight for it. One thing is for sure, this conversation is far from over. There's no sign of a neat resolution, no quick fix for balancing artistry with productivity, or tradition with innovation. But maybe that's the real beauty of anime culture, the reason it resonates so deeply across the globe. It never shies away from epic conflicts. Sometimes the biggest battles happen off-screen, and this is definitely one of those times. Where will we land? Only time will tell.